Hello, my sweet book besties. It has been so long since I was able to just sit down and record a video like this and get into a reading vlog. And that is because, yes, you read that title right. I am pregnant. There are the lines that changed my entire life for literally the rest of my life. I cannot even begin to tell you how excited I am and how blessed I feel and just how grateful I am to God to be pregnant and to be welcoming a new little reader into this world in January. Honestly, hopefully before January. But that is where I have been because honestly, even though I am so thankful to even be pregnant, I have had a miserable first trimester. I'm not gonna get into it too much because I don't want this channel to become like mommy content and like a family channel. Like, that is not my intention whatsoever. I'm still going to make book content. I'm probably gonna do some more like days in my lives. I might do a little bit of mom content or like baby prepping content, but like my focus is still always going to be books. But my life is changing a little bit and you might notice a little changes here and there. But that was why it was important to me to kind of make this announcement video like a mix of announcing I'm pregnant and announcing the good news, but also make it bookish because we are going to be doing a reading vlog this week to see how much I can realistically read pregnant in my first trimester because again, my first trimester has been a doozy. Let's just talk about it for a minute. My husband and I found out very early. I think we found out at like 3 weeks and 5 days. And then I started feeling very, very sick, nausea, vomiting around 5.5 weeks. Mother's Day actually was the day when things took a turn for the worst. So thank you, baby, for that lovely first Mother's Day. I am telling you guys, I have had a horrible time with the nausea and vomiting. Like, I am so jealous of the women who don't have morning sickness, or if they do, it's just like a little bit every day. My morning sickness is 24 hours of the day. I do not ever get a break from the nausea. Even right now, I'm feeling better. I'm feeling good enough to get out of bed because I'm not gonna lie to you, I was about bedridden for a month because just moving or just talking would make me more nauseous than I already was. I have not been able to work. I haven't been able to cook, clean, grocery shop, do anything. My husband has literally been like a superhero doing everything for us the first trimester because it's debilitating, honestly, how terrible I have felt. But like right now, I'm feeling good enough to get up and actually start reading again because I also was so nauseous I was not able to read. Like, reading would make me more nauseous. So that just goes to show how bad it was, and that's when my mom and my husband both knew how miserable I felt because they were like, oh, she's not reading. Yeah, that's how you know it's bad. I read hardly anything in May. I have been able to start reading a little bit more again in June. Still not a ton, still not like my usual self. Like I said, I'm still nauseous 24 hours out of the day, but it's like less severe. I've had to go to the clinic, I've had to get fluids. But baby is good. Yeah, it has been a really, really hard pregnancy so far, and honestly, I'm just kind of sad because I feel like I haven't been able to enjoy my pregnancy, and that makes me feel horrible to even say because I know how blessed I am to be pregnant, and I know so many couples out there struggle for so long, and it just makes me sad that I have not really been enjoying my pregnancy. Again, I love that I'm pregnant. I love that I'm growing new life, but I have literally been in survival mode. I can't tell you how many times I've cried. Tears of joy and also tears of agony. Anywho's, I'm pregnant. If you want to know more about my pregnancy journey, which you probably don't care about whatsoever, but if you do, you can comment anything down below, like any questions you have, or let me know if you want me to make like a more detailed video because honestly, like, I never knew it could be this bad. And I have found other women online who also have had it this bad, and I like knowing that I'm not alone in that way because nobody else really in my personal life has had it this bad. Both my sister-in-laws, they did not have it this bad. My mom had it this bad, but obviously I was not around to see that. I don't have like any friends who have been pregnant yet, so I am the first and I'm probably scaring them out of this. Anywho's, let's talk about this reading vlog that we're gonna do. I thought it would be fun to see like how many pages I can realistically read every day. I have ups and downs every single day. Like some days I feel great, and then the next day I could be bedridden again. It's just so hard to tell. And I am actually starting this video on a Tuesday. My intention was to film it Monday to Sunday. So you got the whole week of how much I've been reading. However, yesterday was one of those days I was in bed all day, and actually my nausea wasn't terrible yesterday. Like I said, it's still always there, but it was manageable yesterday. But yesterday, the exhaustion and fatigue hit me like a truck, which is another infamous first trimester symptom. So I'm not even joking, like I could barely hold my eyes open yesterday. But also, here's another thing that comes with pregnancy is insomnia. So even though I was absolutely exhausted and trying to like take naps throughout the day, it was unsuccessful because I have insomnia. So I thought that was just realistic to add in that I did not do any reading yesterday because I was literally just laying in bed the whole entire day. And you know what? I'm not ashamed to admit that my body is growing a human being. Like, I'm growing flesh and bones right now. So I think it's okay if I give my body a break. However, I'm feeling a lot better today. I do have some stuff to do today. I want to get another YouTube video up here within a few hours. I do need to go feed baby soon because I've just kind of gotten into the habit of trying to eat every few hours so that I don't get hungry, even though I never feel hungry. I always feel nauseous. Nothing ever sounds good, but I try to make myself eat because if I do let myself get hungry, the nausea gets worse. So I do need to go make some lunch soon. But let's talk about the first book that I'm going to be reading for this little reading vlog. And I'm aware that was the longest intro ever. I'm so sorry. I just felt like I needed to explain where I have been a little bit because I feel so bad for being MIA. Like, I love my job so much and I have been so sad that I have just not been able to work for over a month at this point. Anywho's, the book that I actually started on Sunday was Sounds Like Love by Ashley Poston. I didn't get too far. I think I'm like 50-ish pages in. Yeah. I know Ashley Poston literally has a new release like today as I'm filming this, so it's already out when you guys are seeing this video. But this is her release from last summer that I never got around to reading. And Ashley Poston is the queen of magical realism romances, so I have been very excited to pick this one up, but I've been saving it for the summertime, and now that I'm actually feeling like good enough to read, I'm very excited. So what I can tell you about this book so far, we are following the female main character, Joni. She is a songwriter and she is headed back home to North Carolina because her mom has dementia and they think this is like the last summer that her mom's mind is going to be, I don't know, like clear. Basically, they think this is the last good summer they're going to get with Joni's mom. So Joni is going back home from LA for the summer. While she's home, like she's just been home for a few days at this point, but she keeps on randomly hearing like music in her head that nobody else can seem to hear. So I'm assuming that's where the magical realism is gonna come in. Not exactly sure about the romance because we haven't quite gotten there yet, but I'm excited to dive back into this some more today. Our starting page is 55, so at the end of the day I will report back, see what page we're leaving off on for the day, and see how much I read. So let's go make some lunch and maybe go sit outside because I do think it looks pretty nice out. Also, I feel like getting fresh air does help how I feel. And let's see how much I can read this week. One of my current cravings has been chocolate milk, so here we are. This is where I've been living for the last month. I'm gonna go get ready for bed. I will update you with the progress in the morning. Alrighty, so for Tuesday, I read from page 55 to 152, so that is a total of 97 pages that I read. And honestly, was it as much as I was hoping for? No, but I have just come to the realization, and honestly just like acceptance, that even just like pregnant, I need to just like take my day, like minute by minute, whatever symptom it likes to throw at me. I just need to accept it and like take what it's giving me, and not try to have like a full day planned out in my head of what I want to do, because that's just not realistic. And honestly, that's probably setting me up good for motherhood, because obviously when the baby is here, I don't think my days are gonna go how I'll be planning. But it was still a decent bit, and definitely more than I have been able to read lately. So let's talk a little bit more about what's going on in this book. So finally, we're getting into like some of the magical realism. Well, I shouldn't say finally, but I feel like we're finally getting to like the point of it, which is the romance. Like, we're just now getting to that. Basically, our female main character, Joni, she is hearing this voice in her head. Like, she is able to have full-blown conversations with another person, just like in their heads. Like, they're literally states apart, and they're having conversations. They don't know who the other person is. They don't know why they're in each other's heads like this, but they are. And now this like stranger who has been inside of Joni's head for a week or so is coming to her hometown in North Carolina to like meet her and try and like solve how they can get out of each other's heads, if that's even possible. So I think the romance is gonna ramp up. Honestly, not sure how I'm feeling about the male main character and like love interest, because I don't know, he just doesn't seem like the best guy. I'm just not really rooting for him, honestly. But we'll see. Hopefully he redeems himself. Hopefully he has some character development. Honestly, I'm just like a little bit bored with this book, and I think if it was, you know, grabbing my attention more, obviously I would want to be like picking it up and reading it more. Maybe I would have read more for Tuesday, but it's just kind of stale, really repetitive in my opinion. Joni is in her hometown spending this one last summer with her mom, and her mom and dad own this like, I don't know what it's called. It's like a music venue. So her family owns this music venue. They have for Joni's whole life, and now they are going to close down the music venue after this summer. And it's like Joni like made a really big deal of that, and she was like, no, I don't want this to be closed. Like, this is my entire childhood, like my entire upbringing. Like, I love this place. But like now it seems like she doesn't really care about it. Like, she's not doing anything to like save the music venue, when it's like that seemed like it was gonna be a much bigger plot point. Also, it's like the last good summer that they think they're gonna get with her mom, but it's like we don't even really see her doing much with her mom. Like, they're not really doing any activities together, and it's just like not, I don't know, it's not really giving me what I was expecting it to give, honestly. And I feel the same way about novel love story. Like, I absolutely love The 7-Year Slip and Dead Romantics, but like this book so far and then A Novel Love Story have been kind of misses with me. So I don't know, I'm that far, so it's like a good chunk into the book, and hopefully it just starts becoming more interesting, I guess, because like I said, as of right now, I'm pretty bored. So it was my full intention to like annotate this book, because like I said, love The 7-Year Slip, love Dead Romantics, like I have those annotated. So I was hoping to like want to annotate this one as well, but I just like, there has been nothing in it of like value to me that I want to annotate. So honestly, I think I'm gonna put my annotation supplies away. Yeah, definitely not loving this, unfortunately. And today is Thursday, so guess what I read for Wednesday? absolutely nothing, 0 pages. I don't know, like some days I am just so like exhausted, like the fatigue is real. Yesterday I felt like I couldn't even crawl out of bed. I felt like I couldn't keep my eyes open. I would try to go to sleep and I wouldn't be able to sleep. Like it was just terrible. I definitely could not read yesterday because like I said, I could barely keep my eyes open. This book, maybe this book would have put me to sleep, honestly. I don't know if like my iron is low or something, but my prenatal obviously has iron in it. I just don't know if like maybe I need more, but I'm supposed to have my blood tests soon. So those should hopefully say if I need more iron or not, because like I know that could be causing some more of the exhaustion, but also I know like my body is just doing a lot right now, so maybe it is just tired. No, but it's sunny out today. Yesterday was rainy, gloomy, so I feel like that also contributed to me just wanting to lay in bed and not get up. But I think I'm gonna go sit outside in the sunshine again. It is almost noon, so I'll probably grab a little snack, go sit outside for a while, and then figure out what I'm gonna eat for lunch. And my goal is to get as far as I can in this book today, because honestly, like I just want to be done with it. You know what? I think we can make that happen. It's only like 350 pages, so only like 200 more to go. I feel like that isn't bad. Let's see what we can get done today. Alrighty, it is Friday, so yesterday I did end up finishing Sounds Like Love, so I read 153 to 355 for a total of 202 pages yesterday, which, not to toot my own horn or anything, but that's pretty good for me right now. I binge read, oh gosh, why can I not think of the name? Light Wielder, which is Metal Slinger book 2. I did binge read that in like 2 days, so that was really good reading for me. But the fact that like this book did not really have my attention and I was able to binge read it, I think that's pretty good. So let's talk about my final thoughts on this book. Honestly, I really liked probably like the last third of the book. Up until that point, like it wasn't a bad book, but I just like did not care. Like I didn't care about Joni. I didn't care about her kind of like 2 love interests. I didn't really care about her family and like what was all going on there. And I'm really sad because I do feel like this book lacked a lot of emotional depth and a lot of those deeper topics in it, even though like Joni's whole reason for being back in her hometown is like her mom has dementia. That is a huge deal. This book could have been absolutely heartbreaking, but it just wasn't. And maybe I shouldn't expect a heartbreaking book out of like a magical realism romance. Maybe that's on me, I don't know. But I did end up liking the last third of the book because I feel like we were finally getting more to these characters than just surface level. So Joni's hearing this voice in her head, right? And she's having like full-blown conversations with this other person who is also having like Joni in their head. Well, he decides that he's gonna come to Joni's hometown to meet her in person to hopefully figure out how to get them out of each other's heads. It turns out he is like a singer, songwriter, so then him and Joni end up writing a song together. That's where the romance comes in, and that's really where we start to see Joni like break out of her shell a little bit. But as for the love interest, this male main character, I'm just like, I don't know who he is in the beginning of the book and who he is at the end of the book seems like a totally different person, which I'm all for character growth and development, okay? But when there seems to be like no rhyme or reason for that, when we don't get to see his growth and development, because this whole book is just Joni's point of view. So it's just hard for me when we don't get like his perspective to see how he is becoming like a better person than how he was at the beginning of the book. Hopefully I'm not alone in that thought. And then for Joni, she has to come to her own realizations about what she wants in life, what she thought she always wanted versus what she thinks she might actually want now. And I think that that was a really, really good conversation to have. And just like, I don't know, I feel like that is just the story of life. We think we want one thing, life probably goes a little differently. We realize we want something totally different, and that's totally normal. And I feel like that needs to be embraced. So I liked that. I did like the music references and whatnot. Oh, another thing I did not like is Joni's self-sabotage. I'm not going to get into it because I don't want to give any spoilers. But yeah, I was not a fan of that whatsoever. So I'm going to go with a 3-star rating on this. It was fine. Nothing to like write home about. Definitely have been a little bit disappointed in Ashley Poston lately, but I've heard her newest release, The Someday Garden, is really good. So I will probably give that one a shot soon. Spice is going crazy playing with some toys. And then it is like Friday evening. I don't know if I'm going to read anything today. We'll see. But my mom and I had a little bit of a girls' day today. I am just starting to feel better and like be able to get out of the house a little bit. So that's what we did today because my mom had the day off of work. So that was really nice to go spend some time with my mom. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna read anything tonight. It's also like Friday night. Like, my husband might want to do something when he gets home from work soon, but the next book I'm going to start, if I don't start it tonight, I will start tomorrow, is This Is How You Lose the Time War. This is a twisting, sapphic time travel fantasy love story that never stops surprising. I have heard amazing things about this book. It's really, really short, so honestly, that's what my pregnancy needs right now, is like easily attainable reads. Attainable, that's not the right word. Books that I can actually get through rather quickly, because I feel like that's the motivation I need, honestly. Yeah, I've heard amazing things about this. I actually just saw like a review of this, or not a review, but like, I don't know, just a random TikTok on this book. And I was like, yeah, I have been wanting to read this. I got it a few months ago. I'm getting more into sci-fi. My husband really wants me to read The Martian because he just read it, so now he wants me to read it so then we can watch the movie. So I was like, okay, this I feel like is perfect prep for me to get kind of back into sci-fi because I haven't read sci-fi in a few months at this point, so I'm like, this might be a little bit easier for me to dip my toes back into the genre before like full on jumping into The Martian. I feel like this is time travel. I'm sure there's more science fiction-y things talked about. I don't know. I'm so excited for this. And if you've been keeping up with my channel, which I know I have not had content in a hot minute, I'm sure my husband chose for me to read this in May, and obviously I did not get around to it because his child is really making me struggle. I think it would be good to get around to it finally. So I will update you tomorrow on if I start this or not tonight, I guess. Okay, it is Sunday. I ended up not reading anything Friday or Saturday, but today I did end up reading the entire book of This Is How You Lose the Time War in one sitting. So this was, I believe, 198 pages, so that's what I read today. Like I said, basically in one entire sitting. I kind of moved around a little bit. Majority of it I read outside. It is like a super, I don't want to say fast-paced because we'll get into it, but it reads very fast paced. So this book, kind of confusing. Took me a hot minute to like grasp what was happening because you're just thrown in with no explanation whatsoever, like no world building, which is a short book, so obviously like there's not a lot of time for any of that, so I understand that. But very confusing, especially when I also don't like read the back synopsis on books because I feel like they give so much away. But I will say in this case, read the back of the book first because I feel like that would help. So this book is about red and blue, and there is this time war going on. Basically, red and blue are from two different like sides of the war, I guess. Red is from this more so like, I want to say like technologically advanced timeline, and then blue is from like the garden, they call it, so like I don't know, just like this earthy timeline, and like that is what they're fighting these timelines with because again it is a time war, and what these opposing sides are doing are like erasing timelines with whatever like technology they're using, whether it is like technological advancements or just like, call it, I don't even know, organic matter. Okay, so red and blue, they are on opposite sides of this, but they start like writing letters to each other because they're both like very fascinated by how well the other one like does in the war, because like they're fighting against each other, but like they're so impressed by the other person and like what a good job they're doing in this war. And throughout their correspondence in these letters, they get to know each other more. They start to form a friendship and then a romance. It is very, I don't know. I feel confused just kind of talking about it. So that's why it's like, I don't even necessarily know if I can say this is fast paced because there's so many different timelines happening. Like they're communicating through the timelines from like the damage that they do in the war. It's kind of hard to wrap your head around. Very, very interesting premise. Like, have not read anything like this. I think I would have loved this a lot more if it was a full-fledged novel and not just a novella. I once again feel like there's not really any world building. There is like some plot, but honestly, it just does not seem plot driven. So I'm like, what is happening? Literally all I care about is like their letters and what they're writing to each other. But also, like, that being said, I don't even care about their romance. Like I don't really understand where this romance is coming from, in my opinion. I just like didn't connect with it. Also, the writing feels very, oh, what's the word for it? Like, the writing is trying to be more flowery than it needs to be. Like, everything is just written, like basic sentences are written so flowery, but it's like every single sentence is written flowery. So it's just like way too much, in my opinion. I don't know, like it's an interesting concept. Obviously, I was able to read it very, very fast and like it kept my attention enough. But this is another one where it's like, I just don't care that much, I guess. I think I'm also going to rate this one somewhere in the realm of like 3 stars, maybe 3.5 stars. Definitely not my favorite. I'm definitely a little bit disappointed because I have seen so many other people love this book, but you know what, that's okay. It just wasn't for me, I guess. So that finishes off our week of seeing how much I can read. I finished 2 books this week, which I feel like is pretty good considering how I've been feeling. Hopefully as the weeks go on, I start feeling a little bit better, can start reading a little bit more. But I hope you guys enjoyed this fun reading vlog. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you back very, very soon with another video. Bye!